When the world has seen its darkest day, the light of God will appear. This promise has echoed throughout human history, carried by prophets, scriptures, and believers who awaited a time when justice would overcome corruption and truth would triumph over deception. For thousands of years, humanity has looked toward a future age of great turmoil and transformation. Across different faiths and traditions, people have anticipated a final struggle between good and evil before the establishment of divine justice. Today, millions continue to wait for that promised era, but what if the signs have already begun to appear? What if the events foretold in ancient prophecies are unfolding before our eyes? According to Islamic traditions, Imam Ali spoke of a time when trust would be betrayed, usury would become widespread, bribery would flourish, and towering buildings would dominate the landscape. He described a world where worldly pursuits would take precedence over spiritual values, where corruption would spread among leaders, and where truth would become increasingly difficult to distinguish from falsehood. Many believers look at the modern world and see reflections of these descriptions. They observe political scandals, economic inequality, moral confusion, and social fragmentation. Others argue that every generation has believed itself to be living in extraordinary times. Yet the sense that humanity is approaching a critical turning point remains deeply rooted in the hearts of many. Islamic traditions also describe the signs of the end times arriving in rapid succession, like beads falling from a broken string. As one sign appears, another follows. With each development, the world seems to move further toward instability, uncertainty, and division. Christian and Islamic scriptures both speak of a powerful force that will emerge in the final age. The book of Revelation describes a power that will exercise influence over nations and peoples. The book of Daniel speaks of a kingdom unlike those before it, one that would affect the entire world. These prophecies have inspired centuries of debate among scholars, theologians, and believers. At the center of many of these discussions stands a mysterious figure known as the Antichrist in Christian tradition and the Dajjal in Islamic tradition. Both are associated with deception, falsehood, and a challenge unlike any humanity has previously faced. The Arabic term Dajjal is often connected to the idea of deception and concealment. It refers to one who disguises reality, presenting falsehood as truth and truth as falsehood. Prophetic traditions describe a time when lies will be accepted and honesty rejected, creating widespread confusion among people. In today's world, information travels instantly across the globe. News, opinions, and narratives compete constantly for attention. Technology has made communication easier than ever before, but it has also made it increasingly difficult to determine what is true. For many observers, this environment resembles the conditions described in prophetic traditions concerning deception and confusion. One of the most debated questions surrounding the Dajjal concerns identity. Is the Dajjal a single individual who will appear in the future? Is he a political system, an ideology, or a global structure of influence? Throughout history, many figures and institutions have been proposed as possible fulfillments of these prophecies. Among contemporary interpretations, some writers and commentators have suggested that modern global powers exhibit characteristics associated with end-time systems described in religious texts. Particular attention is often given to the immense political, economic, military, and cultural influence exercised by the United States. Supporters of this interpretation point to the unprecedented reach of American institutions, media, financial systems, and military power. Critics argue that such comparisons are selective and often reflect political viewpoints more than objective analysis. Regardless of one's perspective, there is little doubt that the United States has played a uniquely influential role in shaping the modern world. Another subject frequently connected to end times discussions is the existence of secret societies and hidden networks of influence. One of the most famous examples is the Illuminati, founded in Bavaria in 1776 by Adam Weishaupt. Historically, the organization existed only briefly before being suppressed by authorities. However, its legacy has inspired countless theories concerning hidden power and global control. Over time, the Illuminati became a symbol of humanity's fascination with secrecy and influence. Some believe powerful groups operate behind the scenes to shape world events. Others see such claims as exaggerated or unsupported by evidence. Regardless, the idea of unseen forces guiding history continues to capture public imagination. Religious traditions often emphasize that the greatest deception does not necessarily arise through open tyranny. Instead, it may come through attractive promises, persuasive narratives, and systems that appear beneficial on the surface while concealing deeper dangers beneath. Many prophetic traditions describe the Dajjal as offering people apparent prosperity, security, and success, yet these same traditions warn that appearances can be misleading. What seems beneficial may ultimately prove harmful, while what appears difficult may lead toward truth and salvation. Another fascinating theme found in various religious teachings concerns the return of historical influences and archetypes. Some traditions suggest that figures from the past may return in some form during the final age. Whether understood literally, spiritually, or symbolically, these teachings point toward the re-emergence of familiar patterns throughout history. The tyrant returns, the reformer returns, the oppressor returns, the righteous servant returns. Human history often appears to move in cycles, with old struggles reappearing in new forms. Among the most controversial interpretations are comparisons between modern political leaders and historical figures associated with oppression or persecution. One example frequently discussed by commentators is the Roman Emperor Nero, who became one of the earliest candidates proposed as the Antichrist by some early Christians due to his treatment of Christian communities. The legacy of Nero continues to influence prophetic interpretations today. Some view him as a symbolic representation of future tyranny, while others regard the association as purely historical. These debates remain unresolved and continue to generate discussion among scholars and believers alike. Despite differing interpretations, a common message emerges from many prophetic traditions. Humanity will face a profound test of discernment. People will be challenged to distinguish truth from falsehood, substance from illusion, and righteousness from corruption. The ultimate struggle described by prophets is not merely political or military, it is spiritual and moral. It concerns the choices individuals make when confronted with competing visions of reality. Every generation faces its own crossroads. Every person must choose which values to follow and which path to take. The challenge is not simply identifying the Dajjal or predicting future events. The challenge is maintaining clarity, integrity, and faith amidst confusion and uncertainty. As the world continues to change at an unprecedented pace, the questions raised by ancient prophecies remain as relevant as ever. Are we witnessing the fulfillment of signs foretold long ago? Are the forces shaping our world leading humanity toward truth or deception? Perhaps the most important question is not who the Dajjal is, but whether we possess the wisdom to recognize truth when we encounter it. Humanity stands at a crossroads. The path of comfort and illusion stretches in one direction. The path of truth and accountability stretches in the other. The choice, as it has always been, belongs to each of us.